Good morning. I am here at our conversion chamber, or the Southlands Job Services Department. Behind me is our Executive Job Placement Director. So I apologize. I have had a video that was really long. I had posted it very briefly, and then I took it down because I realized the edit of it was completely borked on the back end. I made that last month in January, right around the middle of it, and it is an absolute colossal nightmare, and I wanted to put it out there because it was literally me making mistake after mistake after mistake, and I died a lot. I may still try to put it together, but honestly, as I looked at it, it might be way too much work to try to fix. So it has enabled me to procrastinate on filming and putting content out there. So I have decided that I'm just going to go ahead and put this video out in its place. And if I get time, or if I want to get back to it, I will. But what we're about to see is Lord Eximius. He's another YouTuber on the channel, and he's on episode 10. So he's got quite a bit of content out there, plus his little daddy-daughter duos and other stuff that he's doing, which is good stuff. But he's doing RTX. And I had a build, and you've seen it in previous videos. It was a really small little shack in our market district. Well, I have actually been playing for the last little bit. I've even streamed a couple of bit on the builds that I've done. And it's no longer a shack. It is now a full, completed build. And what we're going to do today is show my version of the take. And I'm not going to do the color editing that I normally do. I'm just going to leave it as normal Minecraft graphics. I do like the coloring that I do to the video, because I think it adds a little bit of mystique and mysticism to the world and the fantasy world, but I'm going to leave it blank just as it is, and that way you can do a side-by-side comparison on RTX versus normal Minecraft graphics for this build. So without further ado, we will get right into it, and I certainly do hope that you enjoy.
Alright guys, we are here with Governor Ahab.
Good morning.
How you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Craft. For those of you on Lord Eximius' channel, if you haven't checked out my stuff, I'm Governor Ahab. Lord Eximius, of course, is your gentle host. And he has decided and has been gracious enough to turn on his RTX and show my most recent build. Mr. Eximius, if you want to say anything real quick before we get started.
Well, we're doing a series of base tours on Eximius Craft channel, and we are here today to check out a pretty amazing, in my opinion, build from Governor Ahab. And those of you who haven't checked out any of Ahab's work, he has a channel as well, so check him out, Governor Ahab. Really cool stuff on there as well.
All right, so what's going to happen here in a minute is, let me just check my clock here. We've got about a half a day. So if I turn around and look in the very far distance here, you can kind of see the structure that's poking out of some spruce. When we first started the server, I had this tiny little shack. And I kept starting to make products and stuff and bring it over, because I live very, 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 very far away from spawn, and this whole market district's at spawn. And then people started complaining because it was just boxes and they couldn't find anything. I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to do the build. And when I chose the spot, I knew at that time that I was always going to install a crane system and a dock. I knew that that's what was going to happen. And it's been done. This is probably, honestly, the best overall incomplete build that I've actually ever done on Minecraft. I've done some pretty cool builds in my day, and I haven't really been playing for that long.
Agreed.
But this is honestly probably the best thing I've ever done personally. So the idea is that since my home base is so far from spawn, I have to cart in all of my materials, or ship in all my materials over sea, in order to sell them in the shop here.
Yeah, this is cool. Check this out, guys. This is some serious effort and detail right here. All right, Governor, You lead the way, good sir.
Yes, sir. You come in with your goods, right? So this is actually the very first vessel or craft that I had built. The issue that I was having is most of the time when you look at some of the YouTube videos, the boats that you see there are on a much larger scale in order to get the front and the back of it to cut right with the shape of the dragon. This is a much smaller vessel because I wanted to keep it. I had built the dock first, so I had to keep it in space with the actual structure that I had completed. So it's small, and in order to get the front and the back done right, I had to play with optical illusion. So a lot of the long vessels that you will see that people try to do to imitate Viking work will have like a dragon head, and you can even see that they will place blocks for the eyes and like leave a space open for the eye. I went with an optical illusion with the lantern. And
I like.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say. So just to clarify, the theme is Viking. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah. I'd have to say you nailed it.
Thank you. The other thing about this long vessel, and I don't know if you knew this, if you get into the bottom, you can actually go into the hold itself and see the goods that I am bringing over. And since I do a lot of oxidized copper and I have an iron farm, and then I've got some barrels and stuff, so you can actually go into the hold. There's nothing in the chest, it's just there for looks, but you can actually go into the hold and see what it is that we've done.
That's cool. Yeah, I did not know that. That is cool.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah, this is really cool build. I've never built a ship like this. This is really cool, very detailed.
Thank you. It's about to be nighttime, so let's pretend we are a member of the crew. So you come in here, we'll discuss the crane here in a moment. You got the crew quarters. So we'll go over to the crew quarters, and there's the exact number of beds for the officers and the actual crew. So I actually counted out all the seats that are in the ship. There's 8 crew members and 2 officers. So we can go ahead and sleep through the night here. And there's a couple things I wanted to talk about here. So this is a status, right? So you will see throughout most of the build there is a more ornate look to the flooring and to the interior of the build. Well, these guys are crew, so if you want to talk about economic status and trying to set that weight into a build and how you differentiate different organizations of people, I deliberately left this to be less. I mean, there's still a lot of detail work, but it looks to appear to be less money for the crew because they're the labor.
I see what you're saying. So it's intentionally supposed to be a little less detailed.
Exactly. A little less panache to it.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I guess just so you guys are aware, I don't know if you can see this here real quick. If you go underwater here before we go through the rest of it, I did not build something and then not attach it and make it structurally sound. So you can see that there is support for all of the mechanisms underneath here.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right, and so we're back up
on. Left undone.
No, not at all. So this is the crane system. So the idea is they offload the materials, and you can see that there's there's some stuff. Some of these chests have things in them from when I was doing the build. This is the cargo that they brought in. And the idea is that this crane has a counterweight system. So this system right here is the baluster where like you would offset the weight of the cargo with stone and other basic blocks. And the actual goods, since this is closer to the shop and the multi-level shop, which we'll get to, they are actually transported up onto this. And all of those platforms would fit, if this thing was actually a working functional system, would fit into this. So you would take the cargo and you would load it up. But of course, you have to have a harbor master's office, right? You have to document and have a ledger of the materials that you're bringing in.
Absolutely.
So this is the harbor master's office, and you'll kind of get the idea of status, right? So if you look at the inside of here, there are similarities with the crew, but this is a lot more ornate. And
right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even get that in here.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know this was here.
Yeah, this is my backstock, so that way I don't have to run 6,000 blocks with stuff. So
right.
Over here, I drop it off here, and I just needed a place to do it. So that's the purpose of this particular.
No, this is looking good.
Yep. Port Authority, Customs and Control. And of course, we have wanted posters. We have wanted for piracy, Iltit and the Scarred.
Watch yourself there, Iltan.
Right. And in order to give a little bit more life, if you go around here, there's even more little detail. Wanted, Vycroft the Lame, he's a cattle thief. This one was captured, Toniga Tenhammer, so I don't know if any of your fans played WoW. There was an early YouTuber who did a lot of guides named 10 Ton Hammer. So that's a little homage to that particular person.
Oh, okay, got you.
This is just a little alleyway, just to give form and function to it. So you have all this stuff, you do all these things, you've brought it all in, and now I had to terraform the sides in order to make sure that the idea was complete. So part of this is that stone, moss, and stone brick actually goes all the way up to the rest of the goes all the way up to the rest of the shop. So my idea is a dilapidated building that the store was built on top of. So you go
okay. Yeah, I didn't even know this was here either.
Yes, sir. No detail left untouched.
I see that. Wow, this is cool, man. Really cool.
I have there's a long running gag that all of my builds have water in them. So in order to keep that gag going, I had to install a water feature. But you can see as you go up, like all the supports are set. They're all equidistant. Like there's a specific math involved to where all the supports go and how that all is timed out.
Right.
And we keep going. Now, before we go into the shop, we should probably take a look at some of the exterior work on the outside here.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of detail out here as well.
So this, real quick, before we go back up and do it, this is where the old house was. This is where the old, like, little shack was, is this spot right here.
Right. Wilderness Wonders.
Yep. So you come out of the portal, and this is our market district, our shopping district. And what I also wanted to do was kind of make sure that I was separating space and idea. That's why all the terraforming work occurred, is so that I could essentially say that the Southlands was coming in, kind of invading and taking over the spot. And when you get out of the portal, it might be nighttime. You may have fought some villager or some illagers and gotten your debuff. So as a public service, you can come here and you can grab a bed. You can go into one of these chests and grab yourself some milk and get rid of your buff, because some of the people around here have little small villages.
Right.
You don't bust your stuff up.
That's totally cool.
Yeah, so come up over here. Now the other thing to deal with is lightning. So I was building a village at my base, or my iron farm, and I realized one day I woke up, I was AFKing, and I came back, and 6 of my villagers were turned into witches. So I was learning about how the lightning effect works. So this building initially was just a flat up on top. I always intended to put a lightning rod up there, so you can kind of see it. There's a little copper rod right in the middle of it all up there, and it's at the highest point. So,
I see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that thing has a range of 64 blocks. So if you're having problems with lightning on your builds at home, you want to put a copper rod 64 blocks away, and if it's by wood, you need to make sure that it is on a stone piece. So in the middle of that copper build up there, that it's grounded into stone.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a fire.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yep. And I guess before we go in here, this is Lord Eximius's banner shop. And he had built it similar to what I had going on here, so I added a little bit of the terraforming here so that it's not full, but there's a bleed into this build so that the path works. And also, if you look at Lord Eximius's build over here, the same kind of thing. Like, he's kind of got, it's not the same theme, but it's kind of like the same
kind of
era.
Similar palette, similar design, frame design, if you will. Right.
So I kind of wanted to marry and blend that as I was moving into the actual build proper.
So, folks, as you can see, there's been a lot of thought put into what Ahab has been doing over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little anal retentive. Just, OCD, I guess, a little bit.
I think all great builders have a little OCD.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
In order to prevent the box, I needed a way and also to break up the color palette. I installed these little kind of just banner things on the side. They serve no practical like structural function. All they do is break up the color palette and break up the eye so that it doesn't look like a gigantic square. That's its entire
Right. Oh, that makes sense. A little contrast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think you achieved that with that. That looks good.
And so we go
You
in.
get to the shop feel too, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we are inside.
Here we go, man. Here are our goods. I guess challenges to discuss. I did the wall blocks. The reason why I use wall blocks a lot, especially up there, is because I wanted to do a separation between a solid block and another solid block so that there's depth and range into it.
Sure, that makes sense.
And then I have these pallets or these half slabs up so that there's a tiered effect going up.
I like that.
And yeah, these are the goods. I mean, I've got everything. I've got enchanting books, ice, snow stuff because I live in a winter biome on purpose. Iron farm, snow, totems of Undying. I've got a raid farm, and we got the goods. We got some wood over here, and then I also have a wool farm. So if I go down to the second floor here,
no shortage of supplies in here, that's for sure.
Keep it as full.
And we are a consistent shopper here.
And that's it. I mean, so this is the wool. It was a lot just to have, a couple products and whatnot. But I guess the next thing actually is to go out and take a look at the outside.
Which way did you go?
Let's go up. Let's go up.
You go towards the front or towards the back?
Toward the back, but yeah, come up here to this level right over here. Oh yeah, I'll just follow you up.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. So this is. I don't know if you're aware. I know that Eximius has posted this idea on his build tips and tricks, or hints and tricks. The leads go into chicken.
Yes, I like that trick. Yes, that's very cool.
Yep.
It's a nice trick, for sure.
So that's the only real way to get rope. But you have a block limitation and height limitation. So I couldn't say. Unless I made this build a lot larger, I couldn't do rope all the way down to the base. So I just chose to use it in one specific area, and that was just with this crane system right here.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that.
You can probably see it. You'll see it a little bit better on the level above. Yeah, I guess let's go up real quick. It's probably since it's nighttime. Let's go through the shop so we don't attract unwanted.
The sunset was looking pretty cool. That was a cool effect.
Nice.
We're going back upstairs?
Yeah, we can see the crane system from the top here, and then that pretty much wraps this build up. So this is, obviously where the goods would be delivered. You've got, if you use your imagination, the individual who's operating the lift and doing the ledgers would receive the goods and materials here, store them here until they can be stored into the shop itself. And then if you're manning the pulley system, if you look up in here, you can see that the pulley system goes all the way through.
Nice.
Oh, I'm missing a chain. Oh.
We'll just have to scrap this whole build then.
It's it. It's over. I gotta burn it all down. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it goes.
You grab some TNT. It's no good now.
It's over. Forget about it. It's done. Blow it all up. I have to come back and install that. It's gonna drive me nuts now. It goes all the way down.
You're not going to be able to unsee that, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not. The other really cool thing about building it out this far is if you look over, you can see Fallback Bowl's volcano.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, my render distance when with ray tracing is shorter, so I cannot see it from here. It's just too bad.
It really is, because I can see the lava mountains.
Oh man, me too.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't see it with the ray tracing render distance. It's a little bit shorter. Wonder why that is.
I don't know. Maybe you can get it from over here.
Nope. No, I can see Sherwood Florist.
What about here, in this little spot right here?
Nope.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that sucks.
Right.
'Cause it's one of the cool features of this build is you can get a really good look at his volcano. But yeah, that is this build. I hope very much that you appreciate it, and I hope that somehow, some way, you might pick up some tips and tricks for your own builds. The biggest thing I can tell you as far as that is detail. So I talked a little bit on the inside about wall blocks and separating it. So I mean, this is a really good example. Just coming up to this corner, you can see where that wood meets the wall block, and then there's 3 levels of depth to it.
Yeah, I like that. And depth is an overlooked important detail when you're doing builds like these. So that's really cool. I really like that.
Yep.
Well, Ahab, this is an amazing build. That's definitely my favorite shop in the Market District.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for showing it to us. So the last thing I want to do actually is I'm going to do a flyover so you guys can just get the scope of this build. So just like how large it is, and then when you combine all the detail work, just what kind of a project this really was. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, how cool is this? So yeah, the flyover really kind of gives you a perspective of, and even just at the top here, you know, like how if you guys can see this, how the governor did this roof design up here, and it's, I mean, certainly reminiscent of Viking architecture. So bravo, my friend. Fantastic build. Thank you so much for showing it to us.
Well, thank you very much for hosting it and deeming it worthy to show on your channel. It's greatly appreciated, and thank you very much to your followers for watching.
Absolutely. Look, we definitely look forward to doing more base tours, and Ahab is basically doing a lot of infrastructure at his base, and hasn't gotten to, you know, the kind of creative builds like you see here that he, you know, is looking forward to getting to. He's getting all of his infrastructure in place, and you know, with a huge village and things like that. So we are looking forward down the road to getting over to the governor's base too and checking that out. So, which is something that we will, as long as the governor invites us over, we will be doing that as well.
Yeah, that's entirely up to you. If you want to see the village in its current state, it's just infrastructure, but it's ridiculous. Or we can save that for another episode. That's entirely on you, sir. I'm game whichever way you want to go.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Governor, again, thank you for showing us this awesome build.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for watching. So this is a little bit of a preview of that village that was being discussed. It is not done. Currently, I have 64 villagers and I have 32 more to add, and that will be on the bottom level. And then I can actually start turning this into something that I would like for everybody to see in RTX. So I'm going to post a link to his video in the comment section below, so you are certainly encouraged to take a look at that in RTX, and he also showcases 2 additional builds. Again, my sincerest apologies for not putting out the other content. It was too big, and real life was too much for me to be able to complete it. So if you're still with me, thank you, and I will endeavor to try to put more stuff out on a more frequent basis from here on out. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching Tuesday Craft. Bye-bye.